Hello and welcome to the weather update. It is May 23rd, 2023, as we deal with another day of smoke. Not quite as bad as yesterday. Was a little less smoke in the sky, but we did have some serious clouds around. So we did have a lot of contrails. It still wasn't a great looking sky by any means. And looking at what the sky looked like tonight. First of all, I want to compare it with what it looked like. So this is what the sky looked like last night. As you see, the sun very dim, thick layer of smoke. This is what it looked like tonight. So a little different. The sun's brighter. You still see the haze there, but not as bad as it was. But you still see on the horizon, it looks like some thicker haze off to the west, and that's what the sun looked like as it was going down. And you could see it started getting that appearance again, that smoky appearance. So let's go to the current conditions outside right now. And we'll start with the current conditions, and then we'll talk about what's going to be coming our way as we get toward the weekend. It's cool out there, mid-50s. It was a cool day today, except, of course, in the alley. Still got to run the air conditioner. That's the sad thing about it here. Maybe the alley will cool off a little bit later, but you can still see it's 59 at LaGuardia. But, yeah, a cool day today. Across the area, generally temperatures right now in the 50s. Look at what it was like at Islip today. Dew points are definitely a little lower than they have been. I noticed the air seemed drier today. So going through the day, we had southeast winds for much of the day, only in the 60s, well below normal. A cool day. It's sunshine and a lot of high clouds, and again, some of that smoke in the sky there. But other than that, a fairly cool and pleasant day outside. So let's go look at the high temperatures for the day. And looking at our highs, you can see across Long Island, only mid-60s. As you head west into Jersey, you have to go to northern Jersey. They're the only ones that got up over 70, even the shore, because that east wind was only in the mid-60s as well. So that includes Toms River and Ocean County. I do see a 70 around Glenwood Landing, but other than that, fairly cool out there. Let's look at the lows. And you can see 43 at West Hampton, lows around 50 pretty much everywhere else. Upper 40s, some mid-40s out there, 55 in the city, and lows around 50 in Jersey as well. So let's go and look at our climate statistics for the day. I see they're talking about the CPC. I went over that, though, in the other video. So a few days ago. Islip, 65. High was supposed to be 70. So 5 degrees below normal on the high. So it averages about 4 degrees below normal for the day. Central Park, a couple of degrees below normal as well for the day. So, yeah, definitely cooler than normal due to that onshore wind. So let's pull this out. Go back to the observations here in a moment here. Let's go to the station plot, and I'm going to go back to the whole country here. And you can see we still have air quality alert in effect there for Wisconsin due to the wildfire smoke. And you can see here, again, Texas looks like there's some severe weather there. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect and a few severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, most of the heat, there's not too much heat in the country right now. Maybe southern Texas, maybe Florida, obviously feeling some heat. It's not showing up on the map. There you go. So Florida, but even Florida, I mean, not that hot considering how hot it can get in Florida. Again, most of that heat is out west. There's a stray severe thunderstorm warning over there, interestingly enough. Most of the heat seems to be out west a little bit. Let's go up into Canada, where it looks like it's cooled off over there, too. So that's good news. They have some cooler air, but notice these wind gusts now starting. That always can be a concern for more fires to develop. I know some pretty strong wind gusts now in Saskatchewan province. That may not be a good thing. That's all due to. Let's go back to the weather map here, and that's all due to this low pressure system over here. The gradient between that and this cold front that's building down. That we're going to see this cold front pass through sometime late tomorrow night. You can see there's low pressures in the west there, some weak lows, nothing crazy going on. We move this to day 2. You can see that cold front approaching. And day 3, the cold front comes through. And so we do have cooler weather. And there's hope that that cold front will push the smoke away, at least. Hopefully. Storm Prediction Center, we have that slight risk in West Texas. Other than that, you can see the radar, just some scattered thunderstorms over there. Nothing really crazy. Let's go to the actual radar. The radar over here, and you can see this is the cold front right here coming down. And again, these are just scattered thunderstorms, nothing widespread. This is the real main area of severe weather right now going on in northwest Texas. Other than that, just have scattered showers and thunderstorms up here. In Canada, we still have, looks like let's see if we can get the rest of this to load here. It says actually show the Canadian radar load here. Do have some scattered showers in British Columbia and also in Alberta, and a few in Saskatchewan there. So they are still getting some rain. And then, again, this is the cold front here that is approaching and will pass through tomorrow night. So let's go to the models, and yeah, we'll get to the smoke. I guess we'll get to the smoke in a little bit, but let's first go over the models here as we head toward the holiday weekend. And you'll see here, as we head into the holiday weekend, you'll have one more day with this high-pressure ridge over us, bringing us fair weather. We have to watch this low over here that's developing. So here comes the high coming down. Cold front comes through. And then we have this low over the southeast. The high protects us. Very strong high over the Great Lakes building to the northeast. But this over here looks like this could be some sort of tropical system that could wind up developing off the southeast coast. No mention of it from the Hurricane Center. They're not predicting anything. But this could be our first named tropical storm of the season, and it's not even June yet. But that wouldn't surprise me. So high pressure builds into the Great Lakes, and you can see that then makes a landfall somewhere in the Carolinas. We're still dry Saturday. Sunday, we may still be hanging on to dryness. And even Monday, it's just that high just suppresses all that moisture off to the south. It just keeps it there, and the southeast just remains soggy, but we stay dry right through the end of this month, actually. And then as you head into June here, see, maybe there's another chance for rain. And it looks like a cutoff. It gets a little unsettled as we head into June. You see that. And we go to the upper air here in the jet stream. You'll see why in a moment. So, again, here's your jet stream for this week. See, it's kind of just weak and disoriented. But you notice there isn't a big ridge over in western Canada, and that's a good thing. So that means that the fires, the conditions toward those fires shouldn't be too bad. You see a little bit of ridging in the east there. And you got this blocking over here, which again kind of just keeps that low. We got the high pressure, keeps that low because it's a very strong blocking and keeps it off to the south. And then as we head toward June, this is when we start seeing some cutoff lows, perhaps sitting at a trough right there in the east again, with maybe some rain chances. But that's way in the distance. Right here. I don't want to go too much into the long range on this weather update, but I figured I'd just kind of show you that the weekend looks good. But once you get to June, we could get some rain chances again and kind of need them because we haven't had, by the time the end of the weekend comes, it'll be a whole another week without rain again. So let's go to the northeast view and we'll look at the HRRR model first, 0Z run. We can watch this cold front here. Tomorrow will be dry. You see that high pressure there. That cold front approaches, and maybe we could get a shower, maybe around 9 o'clock tomorrow night, 8, 9 o'clock. Perhaps, maybe we'll see a shower. It probably won't be much. This is our only chance for some rain. Because after that passes, the high builds in, and you'll see that high build in. Let's see how much the HRRR is predicting as far as total rainfall here. Not all that much. That's the issue. Most of it's off to the north. Very little. It won't be much. And I don't think the NAM is going to be any different, honestly. I'm using a lower resolution NAM. NAM's a little heavier with it. We'll have to see. Maybe it could even be a thunderstorm with it. You never know. Though, again, the moisture isn't there. So if I go back to the HRRR, you'll see that. There's not really a whole lot of humidity in the air. So that's going to limit anything. So you can see dew points fairly low tonight. Light east winds. Dew points stay low tomorrow, so it doesn't really get that humid. There's a little bit of wave of humidity right with the cold front, which is very interesting. This might just be due to the rain that's going to fall with that cold front that comes through. And then the winds go to the north. After being east to southeast, they go to the north and maybe north-northeast on Thursday. See that dry flow coming out of eastern Canada there. Looking at our air temperatures, tonight we'll probably have lows drop back into the mid-40s. And then for Wednesday, it's going to be warmer if you're inland, probably well into the 70s inland, maybe a couple of 80-degree readings inland. But if you're by the shore, say Long Island will probably break 70, maybe low, maybe mid-70s in northern Nassau City, maybe mid to upper 70s. Northern Jersey, maybe close to 80. But Jersey, even at the shore, because of that southeast wind, if you're in Ocean County, it'll be cooler in a place like Toms River. But as you head inland to, say, Lakehurst, then it'll be warmer. And then you can see the cold front there, pretty well-defined, actually, coming through and dropping temperatures into the mid-40s by Thursday morning. And then for Thursday, this is as far as we got, but we're going to struggle to reach 70, probably upper 60s again. It'll be very cool again. And if we want to go further than that, looking at the GFS, which I'll show you right here. So here comes this dry air, and that stays in place for Friday as well. Same thing, light easterly winds, very dry air overhead. We continue this with this Saturday as well. You can see all that tropical moisture there from that low. That looks like a tropical system for sure. But again, that high suppresses it, keeps it to the south, and we stay dry in the dry air Sunday. That's when we get to Monday. Maybe we start seeing a little bit of it, but still, you can see it's being blocked. And then Tuesday, we start, and as we get the next week and wrap up the month, you start seeing some more moisture come to the picture, and that'll bring some rain chances for June. But that's when I think our next chance for any decent rain is going to be at this point. Air temperatures. So we move it on to Friday. Probably break 70 on Friday, low 70s. And then we warm it up for the weekend. So probably, more like mid-70s, mid-70s, and even in New England be even warmer because that's where the real heart of the inland, we could see 80s. Kind of an upside-down look here. Again, with that weird blocking, that's what you get sometimes. It'll actually be hotter in parts of southeast Canada than it will be on Long Island with the sea breeze on Monday. And then as we make it into you see, Tuesday it starts getting hot inland. Could be dealing with 80s by then. So a little heat for the end of the month, perhaps. And then it looks like we will heat up as we get into June and have that warm, humid air on the right side of that trough, which gets us into a kind of an unsettled pattern. But we could use a couple of days with some rain. So after another long stretch with no rain. I just want to put eastern United States in here and show you the total accumulated precip map here. So as we head through the weekend, you'll see what happens. So you'll see all the rain that's going to fall from that tropical system over the southeast. Could be over 3 inches, perhaps, from Virginia on south, even into Florida. But we're dry. You can clearly see that dry dome that kind of stays over us. So let's go look at the skies. I'll first start with the GFS. I guess we will look at the smoke model in a moment. So going into your, hang on, we gotta back it up a lot here. So here we go for Wednesday. This is tomorrow. You can see it's showing only a few clouds for tomorrow. Again, though, I think we're going to be dealing with that smoke. Thursday, fairly sunny. Friday, so we got to watch for how this line of cirrus from that storm. It could maybe just to the south of us. Long Island might be clear, and then we'll have to watch to see if that kind of gets over. It could be an interesting looking sky if we don't have any of the smoke around with that tropical cirrus in the sky. It always makes things interesting, but we'll see more of that kind of rolling on us, I think, as we get toward Sunday. Let's go now to the RGEM model. All right, so this is the RGEM for tomorrow, and you see it's not showing many high clouds, but I think we will be dealing with the smoke, and then we'll have clouds come in as we get toward around sunset, I guess. Some of the clouds start approaching. That's the cold front that's going to come through, maybe a shower or two. And then for Thursday, should be a nice, mostly sunny day. If we can get rid of the smoke, it'll be nice. And Friday, too, it looks like we'll have plenty of sunshine. But then that cirrus starts trying to, well, here we are Saturday. It's still keeping this cirrus at bay. So we may have some more, sunshine on Saturday, obviously. But the smoke, that's the wild card, of course. Let's now go and look at the smoke model. All right, so, and then I'm going to want to go back to tidbits as well. But let's do the smoke model first here. So you can clearly see that cold front coming through here. So tomorrow it's going to be pretty smoky. But then you see that cold front coming through, and that is going to bring us relief for Thursday. You can clearly see that. And if I go to an older run of this, let's go to that 15Z run, because that goes a little longer. This will show us Thursday, and you'll see Thursday we'll get a break from it as soon as it loads. So there you go. There's this front coming. So we'll get eastern Canada where there are no fires burning. This air will be clean, and we shouldn't have to deal with any smoke coming through. You can see the smoke getting pushed off to the south there. And maybe we'll finally get a break from it, especially now that the fires are definitely less active than they have been, and we're going to show you that now. Let's go to the MODIS, and you'll see, at least we have some good news for you. So there's the smoke, still off to the west there, but you'll see not as bad as it was. We still have some fires burning. You can see that right here. Let's get some labels here. That is in northern Saskatchewan. This is where they haven't gotten the rain. So they still have some fires there, but it's not as bad. But this is all rain here, clouds and rain and moisture, which is helping getting these fires under control. Though we still have a fire going here in Northwest Territories that looks pretty substantial. But it's definitely a lot better than it has been, for sure. So at least it's not completely out, but we'll get a break from it, at least for now. Those are just frozen lakes. So other than that, but we still got the wildfire smoke to deal with. We still got a lot of it over Michigan and Wisconsin, and that's all going to drift over us. But you can see, look at the line here. North of this cold front, Manitoba, you have clear air. So hopefully this is what we can get into by Thursday, and we get some nicer weather for you. So I'm just curious. Let's look at Siberia, because, yeah, look at that. The smoke's actually drifted over Europe, I think. It's made it all the way around the globe. I don't see anything going on in Siberia, which is good. All right. So let's go to the back to the satellite loop over here. And I want to go to the southeastern Alaska one. Yeah, this one. This kind of shows that storm there. Looks like that might be a fire there. Yeah, this one looks pretty bad, though. This one in Northwest Territories looks pretty bad now. So it looks like Northwest Territories is getting hit hard, and it's getting kind of wrapped up in the storm here, as you see. So we'll have to see if we're going to deal with any smoke from those fires. But, yeah, that looks pretty bad, actually. So now it's the Northwest Territories. It's very remote over here. So, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like any of the rain is going to reach this area. So the Northwest Territories may be now the new focal point for these fires. Let's go to the North Canada, northern U.S. So this kind of gives you an idea here. Let's go to 48. To 48 here. So you could see, you could sort of see that cold front there making its way. So I still see smoke behind that cold front. We'll have to see if we get rid of it completely, but I still see some. I don't think it'll be completely out of the picture, but at least it'll be less than it has been. But you can see those fires in Northwest Territories, because you know why they pop? Because there's a dry wind around that low there that's causing that to really get going. So the Northwest Territories is now becoming, I think, the main focal point for these fires from now on. So let's go to the winter map, which I'm going to do next. Just showing you some local temperatures here, because it sure as heck felt a lot warmer here versus the South Shore. But it looks like everything is fairly uniform, mid-50s pretty much everywhere. I see a few degrees higher around Mineola, of course. South Shore cooler. Other than that, fairly even, a little bit warmer by a few degrees, But anyway, so let's go back. Actually, I want to go back to tidbits. I want to just look at this storm that we're watching here. Look at the southeast here, because, again, this could be a tropical system here. Uh, oddly enough, that again, this looks like something that gets going right here. GFS seems to think something's going to happen here. It's going to be. I don't see the isobars being that tight, so I don't think we'll see that much wind with it. But yeah, it definitely looks like some kind of tropical system there, getting going here. And it's only late May. Incredible. Looks like it has a landfall in South Carolina. Of course, we're a ways off from this, but we're going to have to watch this for sure. But at least it's not heading up the East Coast, and at least it's staying suppressed to the south, and because that could have really ruined this holiday weekend. Luckily, that's not going to be happening. It looks like now the models seem to keep it. It's a good, strong block. It's going to stay. It's going to go stay in the southeast. But other than that, I think that's going to wrap up this weather update. So have a good night.